more Empyrion. Hal here, and we've been busy. Very, 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 very busy. Oh, so, funny story for you. I recorded a video, well, let's see. You're going to see this one on Thursday. So it would have been late Tuesday night when I recorded. Had just finished recording the other series, went in, recorded this one, where we were talking about the things that we had done, and I'm going to go and recap all of this anyway. But, yeah. The editor that I was using, or I should say the recording system that I was using, is based on OBS, right? I have a scene set up for a source set up to capture Empyrion, and then I have another source set up to capture another game. The source for Empyrion was disabled. So I have this like 40 plus minute recording of black screen. Oh, so yeah, so anyway, so let me bring you up to date with what's been going on here. We went ahead, we replaced some of the decking that we had done last week. Actually, you would have seen it on Tuesday's video. We went ahead and replaced some of that decking for the command bridge area. We put in the retractable turrets. I went ahead and completed the walls on this thing, at least the rough-in walls. Basically, get the whole thing sealed up. We've put a couple of reactors in here just to get them in place, and we'll walk through the interior in a second. Now, one of the things that I had been working on at the point in time when I had stopped recording the other day was we were just starting to get thrusters built. So we've actually started placing those. I need to get a little bit more blocking done. So what we made the determination of is that 2 of these is roughly 15 meganewtons of thrust, right? If we look at the ship itself, we'll come over here to the statistics. With everything that we've added to the ship, we need 14 meganewtons to get off the ground. So that's what we've done. Basically, I'm doing 2 medium thrusters in every direction for primary controls. The thing is that I ended up with an odd number of thrusters because I ran out of materials, which we'll talk about shortly. And so now we have an extra thruster for lift, which will hopefully get us out of the planetary field, get us up into space that much quicker and a little bit easier. But I do have at least 1 thruster in both of the lateral positions, so we have left and right, or port and starboard if you prefer. And we have 1 on vertical. So that means we don't just keep drifting forever in that direction. But we do have 2. We do have 2 in primary propulsion, 2 in retro propulsion, and 3 in lift. So we actually have enough to get us out of the system. Now, for the most part, these thruster locations are kind of TBD. They're not really necessarily the final position. The laterals will probably stay where they are. And like I said, there will be a second one on both of these. And that's for a couple of different reasons. But what we're trying to do is basically I wanted the ship to be sealed enough to get us up into space without having to worry about, just miscellaneous things. So this entire thing is sealed. And like I said, we'll walk through the interior here in a bit. But I don't want to add a whole lot more in the way of terms of blocks, because we're kind of pushing the limit of where we have thrust for. Now, I did say that we were going to walk through here, so let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, our hangar is large enough for basically our ship. As we build onto and add to the ship, this is probably going to remain our primary hangar for the landing craft, and this is going to become a dedicated landing craft, I think. Basically, get you down to the planet, pick some stuff up, and get it back up into space. So the laser drill may or may not be staying on it. I'll probably build another SV that's specific for, that's purpose built for mining. This thing is just kind of a go out and gather stuff as we have time vehicle. So I'm going to turn lights on because I'm not running our power system in here yet. I did change a little bit in here. Basically just stylize this up a little bit. I may make that same change back here. I haven't decided yet. But like I said, we do have 2 large generators. These are the tier 2 ones, I think. I don't remember. Large generator. Okay, so those are just regular large generators. Because of the fact that you're coming in and out of the ship mainly via the hangar, we've got our O2 system here. I will be putting a boarding dock on. The thing is that I'm not really expecting the ship to, once it's out of planetary orbit, I'm not expecting it to come back down. But I do want to have a system in place that in the case we do have to land, we have a way of getting in and out without going through the big hangar. So you come through here. This is our basically airlock antechamber area, which you can see is pressurized. Into our general cargo. We've got our ammo boxes. We've got 2 of these containers. And then we have a crap ton of container extensions. There's 8 of these on either side, with more that loop down under here and in the back. So they like wrap around all over this thing, and we'll take you into the, actually there it is here. So as you can see, we have 192,000 storage. And again, I've got things in here already, and all of this is adding mass to the vehicle because I don't want to have to transport the big stuff up separately, because I only like these thrusters, I'd only be able to carry 1 or 2 of them at a time. So I'd be making a lot of trips up and down to get things over there. So I've been basically trying to get most of the heavy stuff moved over. Now, if we go ahead and move all of that. Now, I don't have an RCS on board the ship yet, and I don't know if I'm going to need one, because I am trying to play with thruster balance in order to keep everything, you know, to the point where I don't need an RCS. Alright, so you guys, so you see how we've got like 6K stuff in here? That's actually going to come with us. This will all get transported up. Actually, how much of this can I get over? Actually, let's do that. We're going to move some of the stuff around here really quick, because I'm not certain how much of this we can actually carry. So we're just going to move all of this in here for right this second. We're going to do a quick experiment. You come up as well. I'm not going to worry about those for right now. Most of this I think well, you know what? We're going to have to carry it up anyway. So I have to grab my constructor. So if we do all of this, I am actually very worried. That's all for that. I'll probably take some of that ammo with us as well, because we're actually going to be adding more turrets to this ship before we leave. Well, once we get into space anyway. All of this is going to come with us. That's only for base, so I'll put that down in the base. All of this will come with us as well, but I want to see. Yeah, we're at 14.5, so we can still take off, surprisingly. So if we then relocate all of this stuff, you know what, let's do it that way, it's just faster. that's empty. The only thing left is the fridge. And you guys. So if we transfer all of that. Any bets? Under the 15 meganewtons. Oh yeah. So right now, we can ascend at 5 meters a second. Oh, but we'll accelerate it a little over twice that. Like I said, this is really just to get the ship off the ground and into space. Once we're in space, the only thing I really need this thing for is getting out of the system. But what we'll end up doing is we'll use the small runabout while we're in system to do all of the local jumps. Actually, I guess no, it might actually make more sense to do. It might make more sense to do. To make the ship the CV do the jumps. Because what I was originally envisioning was the CV jumps into someplace safe, like say where the research vessel is, and we leave it parked over there, and then we use the little runabout in the various territories. That way we don't have to worry about it getting attacked. But in order to find those spots when we jump into the new systems, we're going to basically have to have a ship that can defend itself until we can figure out where we can go where it's safe for the ship to stay parked. Alright, so I'm going to worry about rebalancing all this stuff later, but just to give you an idea, yes, we are at roughly half the capacity, the total capacity of a single controller. So not too shabby. And we can actually put more controllers in to get more storage. So if we come up one floor, this is our production area, which also has our deconstructor, which we can use to break down things that we have in inventory, which is why we're transferring stuff over. Just to give you an idea, we are only one floor up from the floor down there. But we have our constructor, which I think you are. Yes, you are the advanced constructor. But we have a repair station, we have the deconstructor, and we have the regular constructor. And then this block is different because of the fact that once we get into space and we're actually starting to increase the size of the ship, this is going to be the hallway that takes us back into the proper engineering section. We don't have a proper engineering section right now. We have an impromptu one, and that's where we're going to head up next. This comes up to our flight observation or flight ops deck and habitation area. So this is our shield generator and our jump drive, or warp drive in this case. So both of these devices will be relocated further back in the ship. Originally I was planning on having them go through here, when they basically have a walkway on either side. We'd go back, and I may still do that as like an upper area overlooking the engineering deck. And behind the core here, we actually have our, what's it called? It's the fuel tank. Oh, I can't get to it. But yeah, our Pantexit fuel tank. And we need to come back over here so we stop getting radiated. But yeah, so once we've gotten these out and into the further aft section, the new engineering section, this is actually going to be an area where we're going to have grow plots. And if I remember correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. We're going to have 2 grow plots, or 2 3x3 grow plots on either side. That will be sealed in. And I'll probably do some renovations in here that will open up a little bit of this so we'll have some view into space. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. So moving forward from there, we have our med bay, which includes basically one of each of the medical devices. And I do think I kind of like these like this, but I think I'm going to put these up on the floor. In fact, let's... oh, I can't because there's a half block up there. I forgot about that. Alright. That's fine. There we go. And then I did use the move tool. Well, this thing. The multi-device. The multi-tool. To change the type of window that's in here. So we keep the shape, but I made it basically so you can see out without it being ridiculously shaded. Moving over here, we have our food processing and storage area. This is where we're going to keep all of our manufactured foods. And you will notice in each of these rooms, except for here, apparently, we do have ventilators in almost all of the rooms. And what I may do is actually change this in case it doesn't, if it doesn't actually pressurize, I'll probably put a ventilator in here somewhere. I may actually drop it down. There's some really small ventilators now, so. And then in here we have these. So you have a bunk room in here with a nice view out into space. Obviously pressurized. Moving over here, it's a smaller room, which I still haven't put the bed in. I'm going to put the bed here in front of the vent. But you will have a bunk area in here. I may actually do actual bunk beds in here. We'll see. And then moving forward, we have the bridge. And then the bridge, we actually did a little bit of detailing in here. I do need to do a texture pass, which is where we're going to come through with a paint gun and basically make the details look nice. Hopefully. Oh, but yeah. So this entire area is pressurized. We're going to put some additional seating in here, probably a couple of passenger seats, and then maybe like a control station or two, just to make this look a little bit more fleshed out. But to show you, we have an amazing view out here. Now I haven't decided if I want to put something else like above and below and expand this view a little bit. Mainly because of the fact that, like I said, the intent is that this ship is never going to re-enter atmosphere once it's up. Once we're in space, that's it. It doesn't need to worry about planetary landings. And if it does need to go into atmosphere, it's basically going to be, it just needs to be able to maintain altitude, because eventually we're going to have it set up to do planetary bombardments. We're going genocide on the Xerix. Those guys, man, sheesh. They don't like me. It's almost impossible to get back in their good standing, so yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, that's the ship as it sits right now. Like I said, I kind of want to head downstairs for a second, because what I want to do is there anything in here that we can basically not bring with us? See, we'll end up using all of this. That can stay here. I mean, it's not much of a mass reduction, but it is a little bit of a mass reduction. That's going to go with us to the research vessel. All of this stuff. It's like basically all of this stuff is going to get used, because we're going to use most of this in our dedicated SV build. I mean, it's... let's see, if we go... Well, it doesn't matter, because if I put it in the SV, I have to come back and get the SV anyway. I mean, the SV is most of the weight that we're taking with us, honestly. But yeah, we do have quite a bit of stuff to take with. Now I'm going to go ahead and eat one of those just because I can. And it just provides entirely too much stuff to not use them. But yeah, so what I'll end up doing is I'll come back and I'll gather all of this stuff up. I'll grab as much of it as much of the stuff that I can take, and Yeah, I really want to get the ship expanded so I can get that farm in place first. Okay, so I think that's everything here. And I want to check devices. Thank you. I think you are making power for us, or did you? No, you're done. Okay, so that can be turned off. Advanced constructor can be turned off. And since we have advanced constructor and we've already moved all of the materials up, I'm not too worried about that. We have some basic stuff down here. There's still a little bit of resource on the planet that hasn't been completely mined out yet. That copper deposit is almost empty. That copper deposit's still there. I'm looking to make sure we've got some iron down here. Yeah, okay. As long as we have some basic resources like these guys, everything else is pretty kosher. So if in the case we need to come back to this planet, we have resources available. But yeah, I think that's everything. Is there anything inside that I really need to take other than food? I don't think so. Alright. Well, with that being said, let's head upstairs. Oh, you know what I can do? Before I forget, let's grab... We have a ventilator. Go player, thank you. We have disconnected. And I will put in the wireless system at some point. Excuse me. And I want... Do we want the little cube or do we want this guy? So where is there a place? I mean, I could just... Because if I do that, I could replace that block. Let's retrieve that block. So if we did that, should technically keep everything pressurized. And I've got, it's fine. Because we're going to put stuff on top of there anyway. Let's get in the seat. Do I not have spotlights? I thought I had spotlights on board. Vessel. Yeah, I built a bunch of spotlights. Let me see something here really quick. Lights. Make sure all of those are turned on. I need to do a group for thrusters. I thought I actually had one. And then that way I can do that and turn those off. And why is that important? Because this way, see, we have light coming up from below, but I don't have any lights up here. Do I have any lights? Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I had built some of this stuff, but I'm going, why am I not finding any of the things that I thought I had? Let's go... That maybe. You're gonna be a door here. So put you there. Actually, you know what I may do? I may just go ahead and say, let's do that. Do that. I'll show you a quick trick. If you look at the device, hit P to bring up the this panel, your control panel. That will allow you to get directly to that device. Let's move that to there. Go with the softer color. Hey, look, it's raining outside. All right. Here's a good way to check if it's everything's airtight. Yep, it is. Okay. So that's all there. That's all there. You've got ambient light coming through. You've got ambient light coming through. And the last little bit we'll need is, I think I want to put, not centered, put that there. And we are going to drop that down. Let's go with the softer yellow, I think. Okay. I may end up putting that in here, I don't know yet. Did I just get rained on in here? I think I just got rained on. So, actually we want to go bring you over. And we're gonna bring, let's bring half of those over. Or, you know, a little less. Alright, because what we're going to do here is we're going to go here, we're going to say what? And we want fuel 37%. That should be more than enough to get us out of the atmosphere. And then I want this, because I want you guys. I may put regular lights out there too, but I need to get some spotlights out here. Alright. So the idea is that we're going to put a couple of spotlights. I'm thinking, I was originally thinking to put one here. Because if we do that, then we say that gives us light down. And then I was thinking maybe something like this, where we have light forward. We do one on the other side as well, and I may change these out, like I may relocate them. But I think for now, these should be okay, as long as those allow me to keep it pressurized. That's all I really care about. And then, how do I want to do this? So I'm thinking we'll do that as a down angle. And do that on the other side as well. And all of this is just prep work to get us into space. And then I'm thinking back here we'll probably, just because. Alright. Okay, that should take care of our immediate concerns. Let's go ahead and get this closed up. Make sure we're not over. We're still at 14.9, that's good. Let's go ahead and drop this stuff off in there. So 15 exactly. Okay, so that gives us a plus of 7.5 meganewtons. And we're going to change this to help cut down on all that glare. Let's go to external view now. And, well, we are going to say activate the thrusters. Thrusters are on. Oxygen should be on. I'm going to turn shields on. Okay, so we notice we have like 3 and some time. We turn the shields on. Actually, it wasn't a bad. But we're down to an hour. Alright, so off we go. And if I tip us back, we will get a little bit more. Alright. This is one of the slowest ascents I think I have ever done in this game. But yeah, so like I was saying, is that we're going to have those two, we're going to leave those 2 turrets on the front there under the chin, and then we're going to put 2 more above the habitation area, and then I think the upper area on the back there. We may end up putting another layer on here, and the ship is designed around the idea of that happening, of there potentially being something bigger. But I wanted to, like I said, I really wanted to just make sure that we had everything that we needed in order to get things done. And I think that we're pretty good for that right now. And then, as I said, once we get into space, we'll be able to park this thing basically in orbit. And then we can deal with everything else. Now, I actually do have a couple of... I have an oxygen generator and a water generator down there in the lake area. And we'll be back down to pick that stuff up. I want to take those with me. That way we have them. Alright. Yeah, this is... We're getting there. We're getting there. This is why I'm not planning on this ship ever coming back into orbit. Hey, look how far out we can see things now. Oh. That's crazy range on that thing. Yeah, so this has a base range of 4,000 meters. And look, we're in space. What are you? You're an orbital production platform, and you're much closer than I would like. Alright, so we're going to go out to system. We're going to go to the Discovery, because we can. No clue which way that needs to be facing. Alright, there we go. Oh, that's a freighter tug. There's just so much crap in this area. Heat signature, heat signature. You know what? let's just get the hell away from all of the like needlessly hostile stuff. Methane asteroid. There's heat signature. But yeah, this is what I was saying. I kind of want to just... Oh, there it is. It's out that way. There we go. That's a Polaris ship, which is fine. We're just going to go make our jump into safe space. Oh, and this allows us to keep our ship safe. Now, like I said, once we get a little bit more done, what my intent is to make sure... Actually, I'll have to go down and check, but basically we just want to make sure everything is working. I probably should have checked that before I made the jump. Well, we know that this is basically a safe area. So what I want to do... Now, I don't have gravity generator on here. That is one thing that I didn't put on. Which, as you can see, is going to be an issue because we're just kind of floating everywhere. But yeah, like I said, the generators that we have, the stuff that we have here. All right, so the ship did stay with us. For those who have not been long-time players of Empyrion, you probably don't understand why I'm paranoid about that. Oh man. But yeah, so we need to get we'll put a gravity generator in. We'll put, basically, like I said, we're going to have to build the engineering section. And I want to get all of that resolved before we really take the ship out. So now that we have a capital ship, we can start transporting things over. We actually have stuff not necessarily here, but there is stuff that we can get in near proximity. Like we can actually hit some of these other moons and planets, basically go over, find the resources that we need, get the ship built out as fast as possible, and we'll take it from there. Now, the best thing about having the CV is that we can go to the remnant areas and scan that and be able to scan pretty much the entire sector and see where any and all of the asteroids are. So we can basically go from, looking at it as a 2D thing from the top down. You can go from the north, south, east, and west and just basically ping everything to find, hopefully, the stuff that we need. And like I said, once we get over here, what we'll do is I may even cheat and put a landing gear on this thing, just a docking pad, and see if I can latch onto the other ship. Actually, it's not going to move. It shouldn't move, so we should be okay. It's not like it's actually orbiting the planet or anything like that. So, yeah. That is our first step into the larger galaxy. We now have a much larger warp drive, which can get us out of the system, which is absolutely terrifying when you stop and think about exactly what that entails. But yeah, I want to get the... first things I want to do is get the additional cannons on board. Then we'll continue working on getting the resources that we need to create more thrusters. Once we have the thrusters on, basically this ship is going to almost double in size. Actually, it's going to more than double in size. Because what I want to do is, like I said, we're going to have our engineering section back here where you see the clump of stuff exposed right now. We'll have the walkway coming out of there. into the engineering section, and we'll have engineering back here. And I'm wondering if there's a spot. We'll worry about it when we get to that point. First things first, let's get ourselves over by the research center. I mean, I could park here, but it is mostly safe here. But I want to have the ability to actually park next to the a POI, just to make it easier to find the ship in case the worst case scenario has happened. 4 more meters a second. All right, so I'm going to put myself all the way over there. I have checked. Yes, I am recording video this time, so we should be good. But on that note, I am going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you. I do apologize again that you didn't get to see the actual buildup of the ship, because I did basically all of the habitation in that video that is not useful. So, but anyway, we'll get it fixed next time, right? So once we get this thing built up, next to do is to get engineering online, get more thrusters built, and then we'll start working on massaging the shape a little bit, make it look a little bit better. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Have a fabulous weekend. And we'll see you back here next week for more Empyrion. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Hey, look. We have a research facility ahead of us. Oh, that means I can unlock the drinks now, too. Yes! More booze!